We're at a point in the season where we're going to see what these lads are really made of. Welcome back to FooteaTalks, my people. I hope you have all had a peaceful, joyful, nice day. You know, I'm going to call this day the calm before the storm. Get all your happiness out now, because we don't know what's around the corner tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to be feeling ecstatic or delighted or feel like crashing out, heartbroken, angry, disappointed. We don't know. So let's all just be happy today. Enjoy today, people. Enjoy your Saturday, because Sunday may not be so enjoyable. But as ever, we are here to preview the massive, massive game tomorrow. Manchester City versus Arsenal. I hope you're ready, people. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this. So, I think it's safe to say that a lot of Gooners are not feeling confident about this game, and rightly so. It's come at a time where Manchester City seem to have clicked, and we seem to have unclicked even more than we thought we could, which doesn't actually make any sense, but if you're an Arsenal fan, you understand exactly what that means. All season we've been waiting for the attack to click, and all of a sudden it's just unclicked even more. Don't know how that's possible, but here we are. So it's a tough game, and I don't feel confident like a lot of Gooners. I feel like this is where we're really going to see what these boys are made of. How much do they want the title? Now, when I say that, we all know how much they want the title, but it's whether they are able to channel that want and desire into flow state. They need to channel that and put themselves into the flow state, just how Manchester City do usually at the end of seasons, where they want the title so bad, but they're in a flow state. They're not emotional. They're like robots, Manchester City, at this time of the season. And that's what we need to channel. We need to channel just being in that state where we know what we need to do and we're going to do it. Do I believe that can happen? Yes. But because we are yet to see if the boys can do that, I'm a little apprehensive about being so confident about saying that they can do it. So yes, they can do it. It's just whether they will do it. Now, a few key points to note before going into this game. Manchester City have had a whole week off, whereas we had to play that dull game on Wednesday night between us and Sporting, which I think left a lot of Gooners feeling even more less confident than after the Bournemouth game, because we expected a response to that Bournemouth game and we got very little in response to that Bournemouth game. The only positive, as I said in my previous video, is that we got through. That is the only positive, so make of that as you will. But that performance did not instill confidence into many fans, and going into this game, as I said, Manchester City have had a whole week off to prepare and to rest, and we have not. Now, listening to City fans over the years, they have actually preferred to play every 3 days because they feel that just helps keep their momentum going, and they prefer playing more regularly than playing once a week. Now, I'm hoping that will play a part. That is wishful thinking and scraping the bottom of the barrel hope right there, because we saw what happened with Chelsea. And however, in that Chelsea game, they did not play well in that first half. So that could be something that we exploit. We'll talk about that though. They've had more rest. They've had more time to think about this game, come out and do all their gimmicks in the media talking about Arsenal. And the one other bit of hope that I have regarding all of that is that Arsenal do a lot better when they're the underdogs. That is my one hope that I'm clinging to, because everybody expects us to fail in this game. Everybody. The same way how everybody expected us to fail against Real Madrid, and we beat them 3-0. I'm hoping that we can bring that kind of energy back and beat them, because we haven't won there in 11 years. So if there was ever a time, Arsenal, to win at the Etihad, it is now. It is now, because I truly, truly believe that if we win this game, we will become Premier League champions. A draw would not be bad. I wouldn't be devastated with a draw. I'd still be like, the hope is still alive. However, I'll only be content with a draw if we get a performance of some sort to back that up. Because if we get a draw playing like how we have been playing, I will not be confident. I really will not be confident. So, yeah. Let's talk about who we would start in this game, which has sparked a lot of conversation. So, I've got my starting 11 here on the screen. Now, of course, David Raya starts. Not a debate. Absolutely not a debate. As well as the two centre-backs speak for themselves. On the right, however, I feel like Mosquera should start this game if Timber is not fit. And the thing is, Timber wouldn't start anyway because he's been out for like 5 weeks, so he wouldn't start this game, but he may be able to come on. However, I would start Mosquera in this game. I think that was the plan all along because of him starting midweek. I feel like Mikel wanted to give him some game time in his legs to be ready for this Etihad game. Because I feel safer with him at right back than I do with Ben White, who has just had a really terrible time. Like, let's be real, Ben White's had a terrible time recently. So Mosquera starts on the right for me, and if Timber is on the bench, then he can come in and finish the job, which will be great. It'll be great to have Timber back. So that's who I'd go with at right back. On the left back, it's got to be Nketiah. There are rumours that Calafiori could be included in the matchday squad. However, I don't think he would start either. But we did see how important Calafiori's role is. Couldn't think of the word there. How important Calafiori's role is to this team in that Carabao Cup final. We all know that Calafiori should have come on at half-time because Nketiah was on yellow. He was never going to be able to put in the tackles he needed to when he's on yellow. So, and then when Calafiori did come on, he just causes chaos. Like, he is a chaos merchant, and I feel like that is what we're going to need in this game, especially with him scoring that belter, absolute belter last season at the Etihad. So, yeah, Calafiori can definitely play a part if he's fit, but I would definitely start Nketiah just for that defensive solidity, because as I've said in my previous video, I feel safe with Nketiah, and I'm so glad that he's back. So that's the back five. Moving into midfield, I would love to see Miles Lewis-Skelly in the 8. However, I have put who I believe Mikel Arteta is going to pick, because there's no way Mikel is going to pick Miles Lewis-Skelly. There's just no way. So, yeah. I would love to see him, but it's not going to happen. So instead I've gone for Deckers, Zubi and Eze. However, Deckers needs to play as deep as possible in this game. He needs to be that 6. Give Zubi that license to roam with Eze, because we know Zubi has a pass on him, and we saw it in the Sporting game midweek. He took more risks going forward, and that is what this game is going to need. If we're going to win this game, we need to take risks. We cannot be so safe and just passing back all the time. And no, I want to see our attackers and our midfielders, attacking midfielders especially, on the ball, getting forward. So yeah, Deckers will play deeper in the 6, Zubi up in the 8, Eze. If there is ever a player that I believe can take us to the promised land, it is Eze. Honestly, he has just got that magic that nobody else has in this squad. And he's going to play a pivotal role in this game if we are going to win it. So we need some Eze magic. Hopefully he can do that. We saw him score against them in the FA Cup final last year. Let's see him recreate that. Because if we are going to win this game, it's going to be because of Eze. It really, really is. So, yeah, that's the midfield. Moving on to the front three, which has caused some controversy, I might add. And even myself, I made a last-minute change. This wasn't going to be my front three originally. But I've gone for Noni on the right, if he's fit. Because he can cause chaos down the wing. I've gone for Gabby J on the left. Now this one, I wouldn't be upset if he didn't start on the left, but I feel like we need to throw in a bit of a curveball because we know Pep does that all the time. I would play Jesus on the left because he knows the stadium, he knows the team, he knows Pep. We need that experience. Now, somebody did make a great point in the comments when I put this up earlier about him not being able to track back defensively, which is a great point, and I think because of that he probably won't start and he may go and start Martinelli instead, because Martinelli does track back and we saw him track back in that midweek game and save us. Like, he's amazing defensively. I just feel that we need to not think about them so much and think about what we can do, and I think Gabby J links up well with the midfield. You know, he always drops down deeper anyway to collect the ball when he's up front. And on the wing, I feel like he can just cause a bit of chaos, you know, which is what we need in this game. So I would start Gabby J on the left, but let me know who you would start on the left, because we've got a few options. None of them are great. Like, I don't believe Gabriel Jesus is going to be the saviour for us, but he's something different. But let me know, who would you start on the left? And then up front, this is my last minute change. Kai Havertz, guys. Can you believe it? All week I've been saying no, we can't play Kai up front. It's just not going to happen. And literally this morning I was like, I think it's got to be Kai. I wouldn't be upset if Gyökeres started. Let me just get that straight. However, I just feel with how technically gifted City players are on the ball, we need players who are also good on the ball, and we all know Gyökeres is not good on the ball, unfortunately. So that's why I've gone for Havertz up front. And I feel like him and Gabby J can also interchange as well, cause that bit of chaos, give them something to think about, you know, because we're just thinking about what they're going to do and trying to stop them, and no, we need to win this game, we need to go for this game. So that's why I'd make those little tweaks up front, keep the defence as is, and I think that defence is defensively solid anyway, especially if Deckers is in front of that back four. But we do need to give them something to think about up front as well, because as we know, this is not a great City team. This City team can be got at, and we need to make sure that we do get at them. So that's why I've thrown in those curveballs. However, as I said, if Gyökeres starts, I will not be upset. And I'm expecting him to start, if I'm honest. But those are just some few curveballs that I feel can get in the way, you know? And maybe give them something to think about. Of course, Max Dowman can come on, be a trump card. I wouldn't start him. Even if Noni is not fit, I wouldn't start Max Dowman. I want him to come on and be a trump card for us, because he's very unpredictable as well. And there isn't a lot of data on Max Dowman, so people don't know how to study him yet. So yeah, I still wouldn't start him. I'd definitely bring him on as an impact sub though. Similarly with Trossard, he might even start Trossard because he loves Trossard, so he might even start him. I personally wouldn't start him, but he might do that. But yeah, this is my starting 11, guys. Who would you start? What changes would you make to this team, or do you agree with this team? And how do you think the game's going to go? Give me your score predictions down below. I'm going to contradict everything that I've said in this video. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I would love to be pleasantly surprised and pleasantly wrong. But I do feel like this game has just got a draw written all over it. So I am going to go 1-1 with the hope that maybe Arsenal can nick it. Come on, Arsenal. But we shall see. So yeah, I'm going with a 1-1 draw. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And please like, share and subscribe. We are on the road to 50 subs, guys. We reached that 40 sub. We reached that 40 sub goal. So yeah, on the road to 50 subs. Please like, share and subscribe. Big up the community. You're doing amazing work. Just supporting, liking, sharing, subscribing. It means so much. So thank you. But yeah, let's get to 50 subs. Let's reach 50. Hopefully before my match reaction comes out on Monday. But yeah, let's get behind the boys. Let's go and win this league. Come on, you Gunners.